So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Seed of Man, 1969. This is going to be another Marco Ferreri flick. This one way exceeded my expectations. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. And watching the bonus features on the last disc, which was El Conchita, whatever it's called. Ferrari got the inspiration for this movie from watching 1969. He decided to do a sci-fi flick. If he had done more of these, I think he would have been a better director, and the same goes for Godard, although overall I think Ferrari is a better director than Godard. Not as good as Pasolini if you want to bunch together those three as the three communist turds from the late 60s. But in any case, the ending didn't make sense. There's like a floating Pepsi bottle that doesn't make any sense. And there's like some benevolent government officials who are kind of one of them looks like Donovan from this time period, and yeah, this movie is nuts. It's weird. It's got the blood feast cannibalism going, and it's got some nudity. Even Godard's girlfriend gets naked in this one. She's a French actress, but she's speaking Italian. And then you got the maid from Dillinger is Dead in this one. Donovan even uses the pistol from Dillinger is Dead. It's the exact same pistol. And then the maid from Dillinger and Dead is in this one. And both movies were made in the same year. So I guess Ferrari was busy in 69 making both movies, but this one's way better, even though Dillinger's Dead is his most famous movie, I guess, because it's mostly a silent movie. And this one is pretty much follows in the footsteps. I mean, there's not much dialogue in this one. But yeah, Godard's girlfriend's looking pretty for a white woman in this, and it's my favorite subgenre, dystopian kind of futuristic movie. So pretty cool. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. Actually, it surprised me. It was way above my expectation, and yeah. I got about 9 hours of sleep today after another unsuccessful attempt to find a room for rent that's comparable in price to the room that I'm renting right now, because I have to move out by the end of the year. So I spent about 3 hours, no, not 3 hours, about an hour and a half banging on doors. And I found a couple houses that are renting rooms, but neither one of them were answering the door on Saturday morning. So I guess I'll go back there at some point, probably next month, but I keep plugging away, and hopefully in the meantime, I have a couple of contacts who are helping me look for rooms. So I don't know. I got to do something fast, but I guess I could always Airbnb a room for a few days while I'm looking next year, if gets to that point. But I don't know. It's just a long kind of arduous process to find affordable housing in the Bay Area. and just the way it is. It's like living in Venezuela, the communist hell where inflation is running like 1,000,000%. That's what housing prices feel like around here. So very frustrating, and even my boss at work, he makes about the same money as I do for doing half the amount of work. Um, they're raising her rent in Daly City, which is the town that I also live in, so she has to move out, and so I'm sure she's not too thrilled about that, and she can relate to what I'm going through. Great boss, by the way, but anyways, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, hey, to park here, you have to pay or?
Yeah.
Yeah, how much is it?
It's about 65 a night.
Damn.
Yeah, everything's expensive around here.
Yeah, you know where I can park out here? Just like that?
You can park on the curb, but I recommend taking all your valuables out of the car because people tend to smash windows around here. And then the meter maids come at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.?
Yeah, every day. Yeah,
Thank you.
even Sunday. Yeah. All right. Sorry about that. Wasn't expecting him to come back, but I guess he's having a tough time finding a hotel room. The hotel rooms are pretty packed this time of year, even though it's early November. And the garage is pretty full, 65 cars, which is about the same as yesterday. I think I was nodding off a little bit. Oh, there it is. Dang. I had my head up against the tickets again and they fell down, or at least one of them did. And I couldn't find it, but I just found it just now. So that's the frustration that I'm going through. But getting back to the movie, in addition to not having a girlfriend, I might add, getting back to the movie, so there's a play going around. This couple goes through a tunnel while the plague is ravaging the population, worse than the 14th century plague, according to the movie. And there's a lot of black and white stock footage in this one. Pretty cool stuff. The beginning scenes of weird looking faces, and then so they get to this like checkpoint, government checkpoint, I guess, and the government's burning bodies, and they tell the couple to go find a home. So they do find a beach house where Ferrari is doing a little cameo appearance, a la Alfred Hitchcock, sitting dead in his rocking chair in the front porch, this beach house. They decide to live at the beach house, and then like there's this whale that washes up ashore. It attracts a lot of birds who are feeding off of it, and they can't sleep because the birds are making too much noise. So they decide to move to this cave where there's all these mannequins and stuff. It's really bizarre movie. I mean, it's supposed to be a dystopian, futuristic movie, kind of depressing, but it's not because it's got all these vibrant colors in it, and so a little bit of a unique movie in that regard. And I, hang on a second. I'll go for a walk. Hang on. Oh, maybe not. Guy took off. All right, sorry about that. Somebody just came out of the hotel and was like putzing around here. I didn't want to do my movie review while he was kind of interrupting there. But yeah, before all this happens, there's the maid from Dillinger's Dead. I guess she was in a Godard film that I never saw, but she's an Italian actress, not a French actress like the other gal. And oh yeah, Donovan has this tag-along girl who's got like a see-through kind of prostitute or lesbian kind of deal shirt going, and so the maid's trying to do some lesbian foo on Godard's girlfriend. She doesn't want anything to do with this gal, and she doesn't want to get pregos to further the human race, as it were. So she, so the maid starts humping on the dude, and then the maid, next day, the maid like beats her over the head with a stick. She starts screaming, and she ends up choking the maid to death. Then she chops off her leg, like some scene from Blood Feast, and she eats the leg with her boyfriend. It's rather gruesome. I don't know what possessed her to do that, but she still refuses to have a baby, and this goes on for like days, and kind of reminds me of my first two wives. My first wife more so than my second wife, but my second wife went through a big nasty divorce over it, and this was after she had one kid. She promised to have another, but she didn't, so she divorced me instead. So kind of interesting how the women's attitude toward having children kind of changed during the late 60s and onward, but definitely affected my marriages, and it's definitely a trend that I wasn't really thrilled about. I mean, I came from a Catholic family. My grandfather had 4 kids, and one of which was from different marriage. So I was kind of used to having a big family. Now I have no family as a result of this cultural change that took place during the late 60s. And, with the pill and everything, women's liberation and whatnot, women's perception of the fetus or the zygote being some kind of parasite. So the movie kind of hits on those themes a little bit, and then so she's refusing to have kids, basically, and so what he does is he gives her a sedative that knocks her out, and then he rapes her, gets her pregos. And the ending is completely inexplicable. I don't know what happened. Don't ask me to explain. The movie as a whole was really impressive. I have to admit that Ferrari has some talent, at least in this movie. Not so much in his other movies that I've seen. I've got one more movie to watch, but I did did get a ton of sleep. I wasn't expecting to review this until next week. And the daylight savings time roll back an hour. So I'm actually working 9 hours instead of 8 hours, but this stupid government in 66 decided to do the daylight savings. And most of the states follow it except for maybe a handful of states and territories don't do the daylight savings. It's supposed to save energy, and now it doesn't make any sense because people use air conditioning. So I don't know. It's just something stupid that the government said, "Oh, we've always done it this way, so we're just going to keep it." And I just hope the next guy who covers my shift doesn't come here an hour early, and he's not looking at his fucking microwave clock or whatever. Anyways, pardon my French there. Haven't sworn on YouTube for a long time. Not that it matters because I can't get advertising anyway. But yeah, this is definitely better than Vincent Price's The Last Man on Earth. I thought that movie was thoroughly boring. The black and white version of this, I guess. And I don't know why this movie reminded me of it. I think this movie is way better. And I'll give Marco Ferreri some credit. He's definitely got talent in this one, and cool flick. So highly recommended. Check it out. Laters.